Hey you guys, okay, so I've been asked to do a brow tutorial. Let me put a little disclaimer out there. I don't claim to have the best brows in the business, the best brows in the game. I have the best brows for me, okay? So I thank you guys for taking that into consideration, because my brows have always been a struggle game because they're very sparse. So if you want to see them or how I do them, let go. Here are the products that I use for my brows: Urban Decay Primer Potion, Mehron Lipstix, MAC Girl Boy Brow Set, Anastasia Dark Brown, Strut by MAC, and your favorite eyebrow pencil, preferably a flat synthetic angle brush, little skinny one. Okay, so first thing I take is Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I kind of prime my brows. This helps my brow sticks and stuff go on better, so to speak. So, and it's okay if you get that on your lid as well, but for the purpose of this video, I'm doing things out of my normal sorts. I forgot to tell you guys in what you need. This is a must. You cannot have a good brow without a spoolie, people. You're gonna brush up your brow hairs. I brush my brush hairs up and over, because that's just the angle that mine grow in. Next, I'm going to take MAC Strut brow pencil. It's like a reddish brown. I don't like dark, harsh brows for me, so I use Strut. And I'm going to draw lightly my under shape. When I get to the angle, just angle it out. And it's okay if that's not perfect. You can always go in and clean it up. Now on the top, ever so lightly, I do the same thing. Gonna do that for the other eye. Next, what I do is, with that same pencil, and you see how I already have little sparse hairs, I just start from the bottom and start gently filling in hair there in light strokes until that brow is filled in to my liking. And that's all I do. Gonna do to the other side. And you notice I left the tail. I'll explain that in a minute. I'm just gonna go to the other side. Now your brow should look a little something like that. I'm going to take my Anastasia in Dark Brown, and that's what I like to fill in the tails with. And I like for my tails to be a darker color. That's just my preference. Next thing I do is I take my spoolie and I gently brush the product through my hair, following the same shape that I used when I started. I take my spoolie in the opposite direction and pull the product across. That way it's not creating such a harsh beginning. Now this product is a staple. If you don't want harsh brows, let's just say you're typically using a dark brown or even a black. God forbid y'all are not doing your brows black, unless you're just going for that goth look, but preferably it's dark brown. And if you don't want those brows to look so harsh, this next product is, make it your staple. It is MAC's Girl Boy Brow Set, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, Coco, that's too golden. Trust me, ladies, it will soften up the brow at all costs, okay? So I'm going to put just a little bit, because a little bit goes a long way with this product. And you can already see it lightening the effect of the brow. Just a little bit. And I barely have, you know, this particular container I'm on is on its last leg, but I don't care, because you only need just a dab. And if you're really feeling jazzy, and if you are an old school MAC head and you happen to have some older brow sets, take your show off, which is a darker one, And I use that for the tail. Now, if you don't have this product, you can skip this step. And just use Girl Boy, you know, on the whole eye. You don't have to necessarily do this step, but since I have this product left in my arsenal, I use it. Same thing with the end. And you see how that's kind of like a gradient of light to dark? That's just preferably how I like to do my brows. Let's move on. Next, I'm going to take a sample of Nars creamy concealers that I have, and I bought the other one, but you know, I'm still on my sample, honey, so I'm gonna use this. And you're gonna dip your pencil or your brush into that, get some product, and this is where you're gonna clean up the brow. Now, again, disclaimer, this is how I like to do my brows. You'll have a lot of brow professionals and brow enthusiasts that don't like to clean up the top and the bottom of the brow. They say that it looks too sculpted. I preferably like that look to a certain degree as long as it's blended. So that's just my preference. You know, to each his own. Just don't be looking too crazy with it. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to clean up the bottom of the brow. If you're happy with the shape, then you can blend in the products by just taking a clean, fluffy brush and blending in that product underneath the brow, because you don't want it looking crazy under there. Now, what I like to do on top, I do not like to go on top with the same color that I did on the bottom. The reason why I personally use a lighter color on the bottom is to kind of highlight that area, and then I'll decide later whether or not what color of highlighter powder or brow bone powder I should say that I want to put underneath there. But what I like to go on the top with, and my complexion for reference is NW45, 46. So I like to go in with MAC's Studio Finish Concealer in NW45. It's a lot darker, and that's what I like to use to clean up the top part of my brow. So when I do that, I just mainly concentrate the product on the tail end for whatever desired shape that I want. So after I get the shape, I just blend up and get the product. And I don't necessarily concentrate on the front because I like for that to just look how it is. Blend it in with your fingers or brush or whatever you have. I just take it and melt it into my skin, and that's my basic brow shape. Now, almost done. The last step that I do, I know you're like,
oh my God, that's a lot.
But y'all asked for the daggone tutorial, so this is how I do my brows every day. Thank you.
I go back in with MAC's Studio Finish Concealer in NW40, and that's where I just place a little bit there, place a little bit there, because I do not like a harsh beginning brow. I don't like all that. For me, grab my spoolie, and that's when I take that and soften up the beginning of the brow. Put the same on this side, just making them look nice. And then I wipe the product away. And now you have nice, soft, what I consider soft, everyday brows. So, I know I said that was the last step with the concealer in the front, but I lied, people. Now you want to take whatever brow set. This says lipstick set, and maybe it is good for that, but I like to use this product or the Model in a Bottle brow sealer is good too. I just happen to have more of this on hand set. So I'm just going to set this by putting it on a little brush. And it's a liquid, and I just brush it through my brows, and it sets dry, and my brows stay in place all freaking shift. Okay, all freaking shift. Gonna do it for the other side. I know this brush is like beat up, but it's one of my favorite brow brushes. It's been through the trenches, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so now we're done. Moving on to my face, and I'll come back on camera with a finished look. Okay, you guys, so there you have the finished product. So yeah, thank you to the ones that asked for the brow tutorial. Again, I'm no browologist. I have to work with what I have, and I just hope that you do the same. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.